So for this one, all we have to do is we have to so any values that were given, we have to use to find the answer. So for example, we know that x is 10.5. So anywhere where we see there's an x, we replace it by 10.5. Sorry about that. So x is equal to 10.5. And the same thing, we know that p is equal to 0.381. So for this one, it's a calculator paper, I'm assuming. So 0.381. Q is 0.657. So for the first part of the question, part A, all we'll have to do is to get y, we would need to substitute each value by the number. So we would know that y is equal to 6 times 10.5 to the power of 3. And then here I'll ask, have you got any questions? Is there anything you need help with? Add 3. Oh, sorry, that's a bit wonky. Bracket. And then we'll divide all of that by 2 times p, which is 0.381. Minus 0.657. Now, a common mistake that a lot of students made in this kind of question is not knowing where to start, adding, dividing, taking away. And this is where I'll remind them of that BIDMAS rule.
Yeah.
So, ID, MAS. So we start with anything in the bracket, then your indices, your divide, multiply, add, and subtract is the last thing you do. So the first thing we would do, and I'm going to use my Phones calculator if that's okay for this.
Yeah, that's fine.
First thing I would do is whatever's in the bracket. So we've got 10, so the top part, so it's 10.5 to the power of 3. So I'm just going to do that briefly on my phone calculator. Which is 1157.625. So that will be our answer for 10.5 to the power of 3, and we will times that by 6, which will give us 6945.75. So the top part of our answer would be 6945.75. And here again, I'll ask, because this is quite a long-winded question, so I'll ask, is there anything that you got differently? Because it's so easy to get different numbers wrong in this kind of question just because of the style of it. The next thing to do is to deal with the bottom numbers. So we know that subtracting is the last thing we're going to do. So we're not going to subtract those decimals just yet. But what we are going to do is we're going to times these two together because we know that multiplying goes before subtracting. So we will do 2 times 0.381, and that equals 0.762. So I'll write that down there. And we will have to take that away from 0.657 because we've already multiplied what needs to be multiplied at the bottom. So minus 0.657 will equal 0.105. And what we would do from here is we would just carry on the division. So we know that y is equal to this, but it's also equal to what we've just calculated, which is 6945.75 divided by 0.105. So we're going to do that briefly on the calculator. 6945.75 divided by 0.105. And that 66,000, sorry, 150. There we go. And this would be our answer. So for part A of the question.